fun.
Oh, mate, it'll be crazy fast.
I think potentially some of these bigger cars have been holding back in the testing.
Oh, mate, look, they know what the track's like now. They know what it's like. It's time. This is the do or die. They're going to turn it up a little bit for the last run and hopefully get the W.
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting elimination round.
We've just been joined in commentary by the young Mr. Hawkins, looking younger
Andrew.
every day.
How are you, mate?
.210 to a 166.
I have to say, cars have been very reliable.
I'm
Very
surprised, mate.
reliable
We've
in
had
testing.
hardly any downtime. We've
Yep.
had hardly any crashes, hardly
Yep.
any damage.
Yep.
And I mean, we're running big times.
Yeah, 100%. Super in the 33. Oh,
No problem
33's
there,
had a
unfortunately.
backfire.
No point risking it.
Super rolls through for a 227.
Do you know off the top of your head what the best number we've had?
270 from one of the Lambos, but also the R33 Mr. 33.
Yeah.
He did 270 k's an hour.
270, that's crazy.
So I believe one of the Lambos did do a 270 as well, but everyone else has been below that. So
Here we
very
go.
impressive.
Well, I don't think we have a car that's below 200.
Yeah, they're all so close to 200 if they're not quite there. As we say, a 176 to a 173.
Yeah, that's
still.
the two of them that we had. Yeah, we put those in just to make the others look good.
Yep. Very, very impressive. The track's been spot on today. The prep work's amazing.
Again, we've got to send our hand out and give a big round of applause to all of the officials, all the marshals, all the fireys, all the track people, everybody out there who's made this place and this event run so smoothly. Every time that we've had an incident, they've cleaned it up and got the track better. Our officials running the show down there, they've done a fantastic job. We've had a consistent run all day, only a couple little stoppages. And it's just made for a great day of racing.
Absolutely. 33's up, and the Sylvia. Sylvia might be having some problems.
It's that little boy in black doing walking down there.
Oh.
We'd also like to extend a welcome to everybody out there in Facebook world and YouTube, joining us now live.
Welcome one and all. We're having an absolute blast here at the PRP GDR Festival and KOTS.
Roll racing. It's something still relatively new in Australia.
Yep.
And it just shows that we've got cars that can do everything from drag racing, quarter mile, elapsed times, and now roll racing.
Yep. And I'll tell you
what a venue.
Prep track has made a massive difference.
Oh, the track's been fantastic. We've had no issues today. Everyone's worked out their horsepower, set it up. Here we go. Oh, she's everywhere. The twin engine, front and rear engine, Yaris, that one, or Starlet. Lambo's just rolled it through.
229.
I think that may be the last of it before we go for our racing.
And now it's time for eliminations.
It is, and this is where everyone takes the chance, turns the wick up a bit, and see what sort of number they can run. So all those people on Facebook and YouTube, you've missed out so far. You missed out on some incredible roll racing. We're talking 270 kilometre-hour passes. Don't forget in YouTube, you can send us a little comment, talk to us and say good day, same as on Facebook. Ask us some questions, have a chat, join on in. I think it's probably the premier motoring event in Australia, the way we've been running at the moment. The crowds we've had has been incredible. Yesterday, you couldn't move.
What a weekend.
Oh,
what a
and the
weekend.
weather. Mate, we're talking, let's build an ark weather up
100%.
until the previous day. And the effort that the guys put in to get the track done and ready was just amazing. I mean, the boys stayed back until 3 o'clock in the morning to have this prepped ready to go Saturday. And we weren't sure what it was going to be like on Saturday morning, but it just get better and better. And the times are running 6.3s, you know, monster, no issues.
And what a phenomenal turnout of people. You know, Mighty Car Mods was at an event at Eastern Creek.
And we're still, look at the crowd. Everyone's still here. The people here today are different than your normal drag racing crowd. They're here to see something different, something special, and that's what they're getting.
And a lot of feedback from our guests saying how friendly and welcoming the Aussies have been and the fans have been. Everyone's been very respectful. They absolutely love coming over here.
It's got such a great vibe, this place. There's no aggro, there's no angst, there is no animosity. I can't think of any other words that start with A. But it's been really, really good. As I said, it's just a great vibe. Everyone's happy. Everyone wants to get on with everyone. Everyone's helping each other. You know, cars have some issues or break and people are lending parts, swapping parts out, giving everyone the chance to go again.
But then at the same time, we get down to a dyno comp where we have B2R and Matooks versing each other, and then the competition comes out in them.
Oh, of course,
and
win.
We start hearing the talking from Anthony Matook and the boys, and I can beat that, I can do this, I'm bringing this car over here, and it gets exciting. It got me G'd up in the
hype,
room.
don't you?
Oh,
You've
absolutely.
got to build
well, that's
feeling.
the thing. Great thing about these teams, they're very competitive. You don't have to do a lot. They want to be number one.
I mean, you just take a look over in the pits, mate. You know, we're talking back in the days, you'd have one small marquee up. These have got half a football field worth of marquees up. They've got 15, 20 cars just in one stable.
What an undertaking, though. That many vehicles looking after them across a whole weekend in drag racing, roll racing, dynos, drifts.
And the quality, they're in show and shine as well, half the cars.
Yes, half the cars are in show and shine.
The quality of these, they're not drag cars, they're show drag cars, you know. They're beautifully presented.
They're works of art.
Yeah, and the money.
The money.
Just think for a second, the money just in GDRs that was here over the weekend.
And all these teams, they do it for the fans. They do it to be number one. So they put millions of dollars on the line.
You would have had literally tens of millions of dollars worth of cars here over the last 2 days. I spoke with one guy yesterday. His tally was at $350K.
$350,000.
And that was him just roughly. That's not all the thousands and thousands of man hours that go into it. That's just in dollar value.
Unbelievable. One car.
And we've got like 400 cuss cars here.
And they come here and put it all on the line to give you a show. Absolutely amazing.
But was it, to be honest, was it as good a show? Has the weekend been as good as me giving away that free merchandise just before?
It was, I'll be honest with you, it was close, but it was just all the panting, mate. We need to get you on a runner, okay?
I was scared there at one point.
I was concerned. I was going to send an ambulance at one point. It was, but it was.
I can tell you that
it was really good.
That I actually lost some of my own personal stuff is gone, and some of my daughter's stuff is gone as well.
Did they steal your hat?
Yeah, they kind of took some of my stuff as well, but that's okay as long as they've gone to a good home.
Well, I told the kids to roll you while they were down there.
That's why I stayed on this side of the fence. I was scared.
I said,
if he
gets close enough, grab him.
I'm only little.
He's got a nice shirt on. He's got a good hat. Get him.
I'm surprised they didn't try and take my shirt.
All right, well, I'm probably going to get out of here now.
You got to go down and have a look at some cars
Yeah,
and
I'm
talk to
going
some
to
people?
check out the trade stands and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Well, get out there and enjoy it.
No worries. Thank you, mate.
We've got the illustrious Andrew Hawkins coming to join us. Hey? Infamous or notorious? Notorious, perhaps? No, we would never say that. Not to your face. Welcome on board, son.
Hello, mate.
How are you, buddy?
I'm great.
Just straight up, how you feeling? Like with the last 2 days, how you
Every
feeling?
emotion or the ones that are public?
No. Like, to be fair, I know you've had your ups and downs. I know we've had, hurdles that we've had to get across. But to be honest, this is by far the best event I've seen in a really, really long time.
How do I really feel after all of I've been through?
Tired?
I mean, the usuals of like tired, relieved, exhausted, all normal. But you know what's more important than all of that? Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yes. Content. Like as in like just like a zen about it, right? Like for me, the most important thing at GDR Festival that will fix any problem we went through in the week leading up with weather and forecast changes and schedule changes and all the drama and stress, no sleep, huge financial risks. When I walked through the pits yesterday, or just through Trader Alley.
When you tried to walk through.
I tried to walk through. It was that packed yesterday. Like couldn't move in Trader Alley yesterday.
Crazy, mate.
When you get people just say to you, what a mad day.
Oh,
It's not even about the personal gratitude of the thank you to me.
Oh, totally. I get
It's
you.
just more like just seeing people smiling, kids waving, people having a good time. I know a lot of people here. I'm friends with a lot of people here. And just having my own mates just smiling, having a good time.
Yeah.
People I don't know. People saying I came from Fiji. A guy here from Florida.
Yeah.
There's people here from England and Northern Europe, Russia, like all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, just seeing those people happy and saying they loved it. It was a good time. They've had a good time. That's, to me, to sit back and know that everyone's had a good time is like, I think that's more important than anything else.
Oh, mate, and to be fair, I reckon you'll go to sleep tonight with a massive smile on your face from ear to ear, because I haven't seen a person here that hasn't been happy. The vibe has been amazing.
Yeah.
The people, the crowds, everyone's walking through with a smile on their face.
Yep.
They've got their bags of merchandise and everyone is loving it.
Look, at the end of the day, the whole thing's an ecosystem, right? Like you put on events for everyone. Like, so, the workshops benefit because customers want to spend money to get their cars ready.
Yep.
The car owners benefit because they get to use their car. Fans are happy. They get to see the cars racing. They get to see their favourite cars. They get to meet YouTubers. They get to meet special guests. It's an ecosystem where, by buying merch, you're not just buying yourself a shirt. You're supporting that company to be able to do more cool stuff
And
for the
you're
car scene.
continuing this.
Correct.
It's proving
Yeah.
that it's going to be here next
Correct.
year.
Yeah, I think now 3 years back-to-back of pretty decent crowd means that, like, this is here to stay. Like,
Well, the exponential growth.
Correct, yeah.
Every year. I mean, Darian's shown me the figures.
Yeah.
It's just grown.
Yeah.
The numbers, the people. Look at this. It's the end
It's
late
Sunday
in the day.
afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
And
we've
Sunday,
still
and
got a
Sunday
crowd.
events that have been... An event that's postponed on a Sunday after torrential rain for a week is destined in your mind to not work.
Mate, Friday night, I
Yeah.
was sitting in my backyard wondering if I was going to have to paddle to get down the
Yeah,
shop.
it's wild,
and
huh?
here we are the next day.
Yeah.
The GDR gods came through.
I rolled the dice.
provided us with two of the best days that
Yeah.
we've had in months. And the track, mate, we thought with all the water, with all the dramas.
I got told it'll be no good.
And it just came out fantastic.
Fine, mate.
By lunchtime, mate, we
Yeah.
were seeing amazing numbers. By yesterday afternoon, we were absolutely cracking. Every car was hooking
Yep.
up, and we just saw some fantastic times. And today, the preparations continued on. We've had no issues whatsoever today. It's been
Track's
amazing.
done a fantastic job to get this track sorted. I was still here at midnight Friday night, and they were not even halfway through scraping the track to prep.
they'd already
They did all
finished
night.
work. They didn't get paid overtime. They stayed until 3 o'clock
Yep.
in the morning
Yeah.
so that we had this racetrack for these guys that are sitting up there in the stands.
Wild, huh? Like
It's
they
crazy.
did a lot of work. But you know what? Like hats off to my team as well. We had the most planned GTR festival to date, with preparation starting at the track on Wednesday.
Yep.
Where we're going to spend all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and then Friday morning ready to open the gates Friday afternoon. But you can imagine some of my guys were basically in barefoot on Thursday in torrential rain to set up some of the fencing.
Swimming.
We just did what we could, and then Friday, so much stuff couldn't even be set up physically until after lunch. We had to just wait. And so 2 days of prep got jammed into an afternoon and night. And all that matters is we sit there, we know about all that behind the scenes. We know what drama we went through. We know the pain. We know the everything. But what matters is, did the average person that walk in yesterday, did they know? They knew nothing.
They walked into a perfectly set up, perfectly planned and run event.
We did it.
That's what the beauty of it is.
That's what matters. So we had to make sure that that's what the... And I'm very big on customer experience from the moment they book their ticket until they get home.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? And little things like where can they see a map? Where can they get a schedule? What about flyers? Where's the things laid out? Is there lots to do? I had one guy say, I went for a walk during an oil down and came back 4 hours later.
Stuck in the merchandise stores?
Well, imagine this. We had cars that were meant to be on the grass, but obviously torrential rain means you got to be careful with that grass. You get bogged. So we had to move, I think 150 cars had to be moved off grass to asphalt that didn't exist yet.
We didn't have
so you can imagine
you created it.
It's wild, right? We just had to make... That's why yesterday morning was like, whoa, this is a bit of a madhouse. But, yeah.
Well, you have to say thanks.
Sorry, guys. Just quickly, I just had the go-ahead from Romanos. Official word that we're upped the elimination prize pool to $2,000 cash.
You're welcome.
So
wow,
awesome,
that's amazing.
Awesome result. So if
fantastic,
you want
thank you for that.
There's a story to that. So,
there's a story?
Yeah, originally, if we had a Pro 16 category, we wanted to put 1,000 to it, but I think the Pro 16 cars from yesterday that drag raced might not be ready. And then it was 1,000 for KOTS, and then the overall winner would get an extra grand. So I said, stuff it, just go $2,000 for the KOTS winner. Let's do it.
Man, $2,000, that's big prize money.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Again, it just shows the support.
I wish it was 10.
The competitors,
you know what? I've got a deal. You ready? So GTR Festival, I've always said I'll give $1 for every spectator in prize money. So if 10,000 people turn up on Saturday, it's $10,000.
So that's for next year?
I did that yesterday for GTR Festival.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, if KOTS are cool with it next year and we all agree and we don't get some huge torrential rain, and this is kind of why it works. And here's another thing. I know we had 2,000 pay on the day spectators today, so there's your $2,000 anyway, right?
Yep.
So my attitude is the more people turn up, the more prize money I give out. And
Absolutely.
the easiest way to do it is just go, for every dollar that comes through the gate, I'll add that in prize money.
And I'll jump in as well. I'll give you my $1.
Perfect.
Add that to it.
Just one or like one for every person?
I only get $1. I only have $8. That's all I get.
$1 all I had on Friday, to be brutally honest. So, yeah, it's I like doing it that way. The bigger the crowd, the more support, the more they can win. So, what do you reckon?
I think you're a generous man, Mr. Hawkins.
I try.
You try.
I try.
So in saying that, guys, if you need to be part of eliminations, I suggest you go line up now. I said this is the final call for eliminations. Make sure you come down. $2,000. Generosity of the GTR Festival. Looks like we're getting ready to start soon.
Well, we've just dropped a bit of temperature again. Horsepower's probably gone up. Track is still sticky.
Yeah, it's still good. It's got a while in it yet.
So, mate, I think we might see some big numbers. We're seeing 270s already. There's a possibility that people are just going to turn that wick up a little bit more to try and get the W.
Oh, and I already know who will. Anthony Matook's pressed page up 73,000 times. Marlon Van Dien is upside down and back to front, turning it up. There's going to be a few, yeah.
It's just we've seen quite a few today that have been uneven races, that they haven't been lined up. And then we've seen the ones where they've literally been crossing that start line together. And it's been neck and neck. Like, literally, one of them is like 198 to a 198.5. It's just so close. And I think we're going to see that sort of racing again tonight.
That's what I love about roll racing is there is a lot more consistent racing in a way. I mean, the start is always controversial, and I don't think there is no solution to it.
Not really.
It's like, and I've watched roll racing in multiple countries, right? I've watched it from places where they try a gentleman's start, where they literally just drive off and go when they feel like it. I've been to other places where there's 6 speed guns and multiple speed traps and like 5 judges.
It takes the fun out of it.
Well, I will say this. The reason why in America I think they can do it a little bit differently is I tried it the way they do it in Texas, where you have a longer run-up, but you use that longer run-up to get to a set speed, hold that speed,
you can build
and then
a
in the
boost.
zone you press go.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that worked in America is most of them have rolling anti-lag.
Yep.
So all you've got to do is accelerate to 80 k's an hour, hold the rolling anti-lag button, and you will stay at 80. A lot of cars here don't have that. And the other thing is, which means they don't want to hold a constant speed, because if you're slowly accelerating, you're building, I guess, building boost or building whatever as you accelerate. Well, if you're holding a set speed, you're in vacuum.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
you're
if
dropping
you're rolling
boost.
at 80 at part throttle, you're in vacuum. So it takes a while to get back onto boost again. And over the road, it's a short run-up, So everyone's kind of used to accelerating before the light. So the idea of slowing down and holding a fixed speed for the light, a lot of people just, I guess they're not used to it and they don't want to be off boost.
Yeah.
Now, if you have an R8, Lambo, etc., with rolling anti-lag, it's actually to your benefit. That's why in America you see them, when the light goes green, they hit hard on a roll race. They almost like lift the front wheels off the ground because they're actually set up for that sport. So I think it would take a year or two of doing that style here for people to get used to it. But on the flip side, it's like, is all that too hard, right? So my theory has always been if one lane dictates the speed, all that matters is there within speed. And the other guy, if he slingshots, you're out. And if you jump too early, you're out. That's just how it should be, right? But it is very tough to manage. Not everyone can do that perfect setup. There's nerves, there's... You know what I mean? Like, you tell yourself how hard
And they're trying to drive the car.
Correct. But when you're in there, man, if you've got a 1,500 horsepower car, you're thinking about a lot of things, right?
Man.
Like, it's...
We noticed that today. If we saw the same cars starting earlier on the day, and when they were coming on boost, the RPM, the gear they were in, and you saw them working it out, and you saw a massive difference from early on in the day to later on in the day, those guys that probably didn't have as much experience.
Yeah.
And they're learning the gear they need to be in, the RPM they need to be in, where they want to jump on the throttle and try and get the best launch.
It's not always that simple. Like, people say roll racing's easy, but it's kind of not to get the start right because it's so competitive at the top end. So in Texas, like I said, with that rolling anti-lag, one of the runs I did, I went against, some 1,200 horsepower BMW M something, right? And he had rolling anti-lag. So when we took off, I was in the left lane, and I felt bad because I kind of, in a GTR with no rolling anti-lag or anything, I kind of had to on off a little bit and muck around to hold speed. And I had to kind of, when the light went green, he was on like a rolling two-step and was just like gone. And he got a hit on me straight away. It was like 5 car lengths instantly. Yeah. But luckily, GTR power, baby. Like, it's just top-ended him. But here's the thing. If you've got 2 cars with the same power, if you've got 10 k's an hour on someone instantly, it actually requires hundreds of horsepower to drive back around them. So it's important to get the even hit. And I've seen, if 2 cars with the same power race, and one of them even just has half a second hit, that race is over. It's done. You're not getting him back. It's not happening. You need a lot of power to drive around someone. People don't realise that, the difference in the hit time-wise, it can make a huge difference. So that's why you see cars where you're like, oh, brother, you said you had 1,500. I've only got 1,000 and I beat you.
Well,
yeah, man, but you started...
horsepower car is an advantage in this sort of thing.
That can be.
Because it comes on boost quicker, easier. Do you see them, the lower boost cars, get that launch. They get the hit off them, like the whole shot.
They can get the hit, yeah.
But then the big horsepower cars drive around.
But what if you don't get back in time, right?
Exactly right.
And that's the physics of it. Like, that's why I hate slingshots, because... when you slingshot, that's when you hang back in the other lane and try and time it so you accelerate, and as you get next to them, the light goes green. Yeah. And the reason I hate slingshots is not only is it a massive cheat, if you slingshot, that guy might be doing 60, the guy doing the slingshot's doing 100. Yeah. If you've already got 100K, if you've got 40 Ks an hour on them already, even if you have the same rate of acceleration, he's always doing 40 Ks an hour more than you. Yeah. So now imagine his speed relative to you is 40 Ks an hour. So he's going to pull away. Doesn't mean he's got more power. He just started faster than you.
Yeah, it's like if they're standing start and the other car's doing 40 Ks.
People don't understand the physics of roll racing is not the same as drag racing in some ways. If you've got 10K an hour on someone, you're pulling away. You might not be accelerating
building boost
because you're already under throttle. If you've already got 10K an hour on them, and the acceleration is then the same from there on. If you're always doing 10K an hour more than them, the relative speed difference is 10 Ks an hour, so you creep away. Like, that's just how it works. Doesn't mean you got more power. You just started faster. And that's where a lot of people get confused with, I guess, the physics of it. But, don't worry about the physics. I just want to see Marlon Van Dien against Tony's Lambo. That's what I want to see.
They've been fast, mate.
Apparently, I've heard some rumours, though, that Marlon's head is so big, he had to buy a new helmet this morning.
You're joking?
Yeah, because he ran a 7 yesterday. I think he's the first manual R33 GTR that's white with beadlocks from Western Sydney with a headlight duct to run a 7.
Oh, with the duct.
He's got a motive headlight duct. That's why he ran a 7. That could be. Yeah, didn't you know that? That's the key, mate. The key is he had the motive headlight duct. They do actually work, though, believe it or not.
So just
the whole idea of cold air into your intake obviously works.
Just to say word, guys, we're about 1 minute away from starting off eliminations.
I don't know if I can talk that long.
I don't know if you can stop talking that long.
What kind of GTR do you think's going to win today?
White one.
A white GTR?
I think white is definitely the
It's
colour.
GTR Festival. I
Only
don't
fit
care.
in.
It just better be a GTR.
Well, yesterday in drag racing, to follow with the theme of GTR, everything was a GTR. So the Mazda RX-7s, they were yellow
Yeah.
GTRs, and then we had the two-wheel GTRs.
Zoran's GTR.
Yeah.
Zoran's
GTR.
GTR. So, which I've got some amazing video footage that I'll send through to you.
Oh,
we
that's wild, wasn't it?
kissed the left wall, then we put him in the right lane. He
Kissed
kissed
the
the
right
left
wall.
wall again, though, and then
Oh,
came
yeah.
on, kissed the right wall. I was thinking if we'd start him in the return road,
Oh, yeah,
there's a
up in the
chance
middle.
we may have
Yeah.
ended up in the right lane.
I'll tell you a funny story. I go overseas and people go, oh, you run a GTR festival? Yeah, they go, why do you run an event with like one car? I'm like, what do you mean one model of car? It's a sub-model of car. It's a Skyline GTR. And they go, how does that work? I go, it's really simple. There's two ways to divide car enthusiasts. You either want a GTR or you want to beat a GTR.
Yeah.
Here
so
we go.
therefore, some people come to beat them. Here we go.
We're on the first race.
Taking on the real
The
32
Commodores
GTR.
definitely got the lead here. We've got the green
And he
light
does.
and a win. Starting off
158 to
gently.
149.
I don't like starting gently. I like getting into it, getting some action.
Just doing it.
All right, GDST by the look of it. So Skyline action. Skyline on Skyline crime here. Oh, right lane.
Hit the button.
Damn. Off, gone. 221.
Not bad. 220 club.
Just remember it's 1,000 feet, so it's not actually full quarter mile. Why have we done that? Ask the guys that didn't stop at the end last time.
Got you.
So here's the thing, guys. You're wondering why it's 1,000 foot, not quarter mile. Now, obviously, with a different insurance policy here, we don't have the cutoff for time and mile an hour like you do at the drags. Oh, here we go. Now it's time for some action. Let's go, baby. Whoa! That got a bit squirrely.
He did. 34.
Evo's moving around a
Oh,
little bit.
Evo.
Whoa! Went out nearly into the centre. Damn, that was a good race.
Nearly gave him a high five.
Oh, they nearly, hey, now you two should kiss. Damn, that was wild. Yeah, if you're wondering why it's 1,000 feet, not quarter mile, it's really simple. Obviously, you know that at normal drag racing, at 140 mile an hour, you need to shoot, and then etc. There's all the tech rules. If we want to make this open to some of these big cars that can't go drag racing, one of the ways to keep it safe is just to slightly shorten the distance by 300 feet back to 1,000. It makes a big difference when you're talking about a 2,000 horsepower car, because a lot of them can't stop without a chute. It proves why you need them. So by dropping back, makes it a lot. It's just safety. The end.
Yep. So we just had a little bit of a reset going on here on the rocket lane. I believe there's a theory that lots of boost means also lots of cooling out of the head sometimes. So just going to do a clean up the top end here. So, just been told there's also $1,000 on offer for the fastest rear-wheel drive. So, mate, $2,000 overall, $1,000 rear-wheel drive. This is going to be an insane, insane result at the end of the night. As we're just getting some of our support clues you can see on our screens. Once again, hello to our Facebook and YouTube viewers over the interwebs. As you can understand, some people have asked, is this roll racing? Well, yes, according to the header, it is roll racing. It says roll racing, so appreciate that.
So as we do just a quick reset here, to say hello to appreciation of our sponsors. Once again, from Cars from Japan, Skyline Shed, Garrett, Garage S0, just for clarification for those online asking what speed, the speeds are in kilometres. They roll in at 60 Ks, left lane leads, so aeroflow leads. You'll see from our cameras today that we do have a camera displaying our speeds as they go through. So stuff, and we're underway. Twin turbo Lambo, RS3. All right, taking over, finishes over the win, 188 to 199. I can hear it, mate. Four banger coming through on the rocket lane, Andrew.
Evo pie on time, baby. Man, these Evos are getting pretty quick. I've got a theory of why Evos started getting really popular and making big power in Sydney like a couple of years ago, because everyone got sick of GTRs winning everything, and they wanted to be unique.
Prove you wrong.
That's what I reckon. Every theory I have relates to GTRs being awesome somehow.
And yeah, and who at GTR Fest is going to argue with you?
Here we go.
The B2R
Twin turbo
car?
Lambo R34 GTR. Let's go, baby. Good start, I reckon, that one. Whoa! 34 moving around heaps. R8 out of there.
266 to 214. When it was on, it was on.
Man, it's hard to argue with the performance of those TT V10s. It really is. They are incredible.
It's almost like the Group A area all over again.
Ask me how I know.
34 versus a rotary.
Outgone. That's pretty good. Got it. Speed's not too bad at all. Yeah, I've driven quite a few of those V10s thanks to Precision Racing out at Cootamundra Airport, and yeah, man, it's hard to argue with the performance of those things. I know Michael, he's here from XCMG, and for a couple of years I'd been telling him, just do it, bro, just do it, twin turbo your Lambo, and he finally did it, and he saw me today, and he's like, man, best thing I ever did. Stock engine, turbo kit from Precision, and goes like 9.1 all day on its factory tyres. It's pretty wild. Oh, big job's coming out. Let's go, baby. Come on. He's having troubles with the 35 early, Yanni, but it looks like those troubles may have gone. Is he going to stay there?
It's close.
Oh, I think he got out of that early.
He only won by just under half a second there, mate. So
mate, he had trouble shifting earlier because it's obviously a thing makes, like 1,800 horsepower or whatever, so.
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for coming to GTR Fest.
Come on, boys, get it even.
you're heading off, mate, on the bicycle?
Mate,
the motor on it?
This is Mister saying goodbye to everybody for the night. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. It's been fantastic. You've been an amazing crowd. Thank you, everybody in the commentary box with me this weekend. It's been an absolute honour. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you again at our next race for real, hopefully.
Thank you, mate.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed having you here. Oh, speaking of Michael, I said before, here he goes in the right lane. Yeah, thanks for coming, mate. Much appreciated. We'll see you again very soon.
Power of the Bull.
Damn.
Saying 2 weeks ago, De Bull came to race for real.
Yeah.
And did like a 9-1. They said, well, that'll do for you, mate. No
Yeah,
cage.
that's what he was telling me about, yeah. One hit wonder, right? Oh, another big job. Here we go. Marlon. Whoa, baby.
Marlon was into it.
He went fishing for something, and it wasn't Marlon. Not sure what happened there. He got out of it early. He saw the other guy was out of it. So Marlon has gone. When they had to caught him off for round one, he actually did over 300. He did 309 k's an hour.
Wow.
Wild.
Stay tuned. Let's just go quick. We got to do a fluid check in the rocket lane.
Yeah, some of those extremely high boost pressures they run means that every now and then you get a smoke out the back with some of those big pro mods and stuff. We're all pretty used to it. Some people go, oh, what happened there? I'm like, yeah, it's normal.
As I say, a lot of those two, once they get on the D cell, they get a bit of tie rub on the front end.
yeah,
And everyone's
yeah.
like, oh, what's going
That
on?
too.
Like, it's tyres. It's
Car things.
car things. That's the next pair. Give them the green light. Off we go. Coming through. Mark 4 Supra, Mark 3 Supra.
Josh Dowd in the right lane.
Super
Two-wheel drive
duper.
king. How's he going to go?
Nothing
Both
in it.
got some grunt. Damn, Josh top-ended hard. 245.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. He could. I wonder if he'll take home two-wheel drive tonight. That's the big
That's
question.
definitely, I was going to say, there's
He might even get a double whammy. If you're the highest placing two-wheel drive, you get 1,000, and highest mile-an-hour two-wheel drive gets 1,000. Not bad. Not bad at all.
that sounds like a pretty good kitty to me. We got the R35 power tuned from Darwin versus Miss Lambo.
Oh, that Lambo moved around a bit in there.
That Lambo did 270 before,
Damn.
so unfortunately only the 213 for now.
Yeah, that didn't take off then. Maybe something happened, wrong gear, something, this, that. Some of these cars can be a bit, like I said, it's not as easy to think to get moving on the go.
So, and as I was saying before, mate, being eliminations, there are going to be some heavy hitters. They're going to have a bit of a surprise. So, anything in it. As the BMW takes off against the VESS.
Yep, starting off a little bit behind. Has he got the top end power in the right lane? That's the question. Not looking like it so far. Damn.
179 to 156.
Have you seen the BMW latest model M3 competition wagon that's here?
I have.
Has it run yet?
It has. It ran the IM3. I think it's
Yeah, one M3. It's my mate's Chris Skinner's car. It's a monster of a
You should
car.
hear it,
It'll
though.
be like an 8-second car when it's sorted.
the sound that comes out of that thing for a BMW sounds astronomical.
Oh, wow, that was close to the wall. Now, you
Nice.
can't see the crowd, can't see just how close that was, but in the right lane, yeah, that was like a mirror and a half
He
away
still
from the
recovers
wall.
it for 210 kilometres
I
an
know,
hour,
right? This is Western Sydney, bruz.
Are you not in the 200 club, bro?
Although that one night of quarter mile meant we got to have a 300 club for one night. That was pretty awesome. I think Mac 34,
Yep.
Marlins, Mr. 33, and Tony's Lambo all cracked 300 that night. I think that was it. Don't quote me on that, but
Unbelievable, mate. You got the Turbo Commodore Ute versus the FG? BA.
yeah. Turbo
Ute squirreling
Oh.
down, struggling for traction.
How good is having a prep track though for roll racing instead of
100%.
still wheel. I've seen cars wheel spin over the finish line in other events and it's wild. But having a prep track means some of these big dog two-wheel drives can have some fun against all-wheel drives. I know that
Yep.
sound.
Here we go. Killer GTR.
Oof. Moving around a bit in the right lane a lot.
It seemed to be bucking a bit too,
Yeah.
or maybe like a cut or something coming in.
245.
So we got-
So GTRs are like, you get torque steering as the power goes up, then you put a front diff in it, it goes away a little bit, but as power goes up, it gets worse again.
yeah,
So-
no, that's right. Just a couple of questions line, just asking what speeds. These speeds are in kilometres for our racing guys, and they roll in at 60 Ks, left lane leads.
Do you want to hear some physics about... I have people that go, bro, if I start at 60 Ks an hour, I'm going to be doing like 360 at the end.
Oh,
It actually doesn't work that way, right? So I've worked out that if you're doing between 60 and 80 Ks an hour in a rolling start, and you go at the start line, at the quarter mile, you'll be doing very similar mile an hour as a standing start. And people go, that doesn't make any sense. I go, yes, it does. And they go, why? I go, because speed is based on acceleration over time, not distance.
okay.
Distance is actually, in a way, irrelevant. It's acceleration over time, right? So you end up not accelerating for as long because you're already doing 60, which means you're already covering ground at 60 Ks an hour. So if you're already moving that quickly, you're already traveling that distance, you get less time accelerating because you've got a fixed distance.
Right.
Once you get your head around that, you go, oh yeah. But from a standing start, you get more time accelerating because you're starting from zero. You're not already covering that ground. Like if you had a car doing 60 and like a big GTR that does a 1.3 in the 60 foot, and they took off at the start line together, like one was already doing 60 and then went and the other one launched, there actually wouldn't be that much difference. Like it's minimal. So people were freaking out that, you come here and you roll race, you're going to have these ridiculous speeds, and as in you add that 60 on top. You don't. So here we go. Lots of round tail lights. Whoa! In the right lane, moving around everywhere, and gets it. 261.
Yep, crossing the 1,000-foot line.
I love watching that stuff, eh? But you know, here's another little bit of trivia about GDRs.
Yes.
When you have like a 15-inch or a 16-inch wheel, a lot of that moving isn't wheel spin. It's actually moving around on the sidewall. Here we go. S15. Whoa! That's pretty egg. If that's the one I think it is from Beach, that thing's mental. RB in it, all the fruit. So what happens is that you actually move around on the sidewall of the tyre. Now, if you try to fight it, it actually builds up like elastic energy and flings you back the other way.
Yes,
You
okay.
actually go with it a little bit. You actually got to let it move around. So it looks really violent sometimes, but it's what you need to do. Here we go. GDR versus Evo. Damn.
And those sequential cuts.
I love it. And sequentials are manuals, by the way, for all those wondering at home or in the crowd. If you don't think a sequential is a manual, there's a lot of reasons I can tell you're wrong, but let's just go with that.
I can hear it. There we go. 33, 35.
Better get a move on. Let's go, guys. There we go. Has a 33 got the grunt up top to pull back around? Actually, we're pretty close in the end, but he had more mile an hour, just didn't actually get back around him in time. So
just 0.6 of a difference there. The amount of like nearly neck and neck, you can't pick it. Action that's been happening today has been unreal.
GDR versus Evo again. Sydney's favourite lineup. The coat of arms for Western Sydney should be an Evo and a GTR, I reckon.
What about bin chicken?
All right, that can go in the middle of the coat of arms. Be an Evo and GDR either side.
We'll move on to our next pair. Looks like we've got an R8. Was it S14? S13?
S13, baby. Sylvia time. Oh,
he was so where to go.
Right. Damn. What mile
This
an
could
hour?
be quick.
Like, 245, not bad.
There's actually been like some for being random eliminations. There's actually been some really good close matches here.
Oh yeah.
It's now we've got the V8 Sylvia.
That thing's wild.
Coming with a bad GTO, the Monaro.
Oh, he's way out in front. I think, is that a red light for the right lane? Or
Technically would be, yes.
Yeah,
but
he's
he went
way
around
out
it
in front.
anyway.
Went around anyway, but yeah, if the left lane dictates the pace, technically, if you're in front of him, you've got it wrong.
No, that's right.
Just like those people that say that sequentials aren't manuals, they got it wrong.
No.
Here we go, Porsche Turbo,
Yeah.
Twin Turbo Lambo.
Tony's son's driving tonight.
This is what happens when a really fast car races against a Twin Turbo Lambo.
255 kilometres an hour.
Hasn't turned the boost up, probably.
No, that Turbo S owner must be going, wow, what just happened?
Yeah.
So, up next we've got the Mustang versus the Falcon. This Mustang is running the built motor, Turbo 400. Done it all the proper way. This thing is a rocket ship, this blue Mustang normally.
Not bad.
Powers through. 221. As we've got, looks like one of the Buildtech Commodores. S14 Sylvia.
I'm a big Sylvia guy. Love GDRs, but still love Sylvias.
Should do a time attack car with one.
Yeah, should I? Should go run sub 1 minute 30s at Sydney Motorsport Park and have one of the fastest S chassis on the planet. That would be pretty cool.
Tick.
Time to go quicker. I'm looking forward to World Time Attack with that car, actually. We've got to put a billet engine in it. Just a couple other little tweaks, and we're going to go for a 28.
We got Boston back.
Yep. Whole team's back. Team of Red Sun, Arbolino, Rowan, Matt from Red Sun, all back on the car. Chris from Shockworks, Chris Spicer from CS Engineering. Got
Chris
a
from
good team for that.
Shockworks. I was watching
Yeah.
that last video that came out. He's a very knowledgeable person.
He sure is. Whoa! Mac 34 decided to start in a different postcode, and it didn't matter.
I nearly thought a Hilux was about to beat him.
Yeah.
The 3RZ Turbo. But yeah, I was saying that Chris from Shockworks is just the amount of He's like a wealth of knowledge.
Wizard. I actually bought his old V35 drift car.
Okay.
That's the one that I wrapped in the pit.
Yes, yes.
I drove for the very first time yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think I've driven an actual drift car in a decade. And got it as a bit of a practice car. So, here we go, some old school muscle.
This Monaro off its head. You just hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
That's close. Oh, no, 199 to 212. He was saying before that he won by like 6 or 7 lengths, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot to turn the bottle on too." I'm like, "Okay, champ." R32 versus CV Performance Commodore.
Yeah, thing's a beast. Better be careful. It's fast. Oh, GDR got out quick. Commodore's got top end, but it won't be enough. That's the thing in roll racing. If you got to have that hit, it especially at the top end of the field.
258 kilometres from the skyline.
That's fast.
The amount of cars that are doing 230, 240, 250.
That's fast.
It's
in
crazy.
A quarter mile.
I say it's crazy. That's the new norm. You know what I mean? Like,
I think most people forget that a car that goes like 11s at 124 from the factory is a fast car.
yeah.
But we're so used to these big numbers now, it can be a little bit lost, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It happens in circuit too. Like over the road at World Time Attack, we talk about numbers like a minute 30 and minute 20s. And you're like, dude, the average person's sports car can't go around that circuit in under 2 minutes.
That's right.
Like it's crazy to think about. And that's like I try to say to people, like, I had a Supra with a downpipe and tune that ran 11.4 on a drag radial. And I take people for a drive and they're like, wow, this is fast. And I'm like, yeah, normal people, like, that's a fast car. 120 mile an hour mid-11s is fast. And then we start getting in, like supercars run mid to bottom 10s at 140 to 142 or whatever. That's fast. And then it's like you're getting high 9s, and then here we are building 7-second street cars. And there are even cars here. We started that category super street so that someone could put methanol in for the weekend and go 6s with their street car. Speaking of street car, another Lambo. Oh, no
Bam,
problem.
bam. Thank you, ma'am. 242.
Too easy. Now it feels like roll racing. It's night time. So used to roll racing being at night time. Having some daytime practice was probably a bit of a weird feeling for everybody, right? Like it's...
So we're just going to get the tractor out here. We're going to make sure that tonight's races are nice and equal. So we said try to keep the track temps nice and even. So just give it 2 to 3 minutes. So what we might do, Ryan, we might just catch some ads from our wonderful sponsors for a couple of minutes. And we're back with you guys shortly.
I'm Travis Carstens. I'm from Raceworks, National Sales Manager. We're here at the GDR Festival. It's been a really good festival. It's our first time at this event representing Raceworks. We're here with the Raceworks products, obviously our fuel and ignition range, all our braided hoses and fittings. But this weekend we're really showcasing our new range of race suits, boots, gloves, underwear, seats, harnesses. Obviously we've got all our merch on display and on for sale this weekend. So today we've got Mick from Motorsport Mechanicals Pro Mod on our stand, still in the build. Hopefully he'll have it ready for next year. Should be well over 2,000 horsepower when he's done. My favourite car of the event are all your 35 GDRs. I'm a sucker for 35s. Got to be my favourite.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm from Shannon's and I'm at the PRP 2024 GTR Festival. Shannon's is an insurance provider for motor enthusiasts, such as those who attend car shows and events like this one here at GTR Festival 2024. We're all about cars, modifying cars, whether it be new, old, your daily drivers, anything like that. We're more than happy to have you on board. So on our stands, we have two 260s, Zs, as well as a 300ZX. They've been brought in from the Z Club. So they're happy to have us on board today, which is really good. So yeah, we've gotten plenty of attention, especially, since they're not necessarily GTRs, but, Nissan lovers or, near and far happen to love it as well. So my favorite car of the event is that 240Z over there. It's in a really deep blue, it's on the stands, and it has a engine swap in it. You should have a check. I won't say what engine it is. I'll let you guys find out yourself.
G'day, Rowan from Ergo Drive 2024 GTR Fest. We've got the Recaro stand here. This is our first year at GTR Fest. We've had a really amazing response to the display stock that we've got here today. There's tons of people here. It's going really, really well. Big focus for us this weekend has been the launch of the SRS and the SRC from Recaro Japan. The response for that has been phenomenal so far. On display here we've got the R35, we've got R33. And favourite car of the day, I haven't done a whole lot of looking around because we've been so busy, but it's got to be our R35.
Hi, I'm Joe from Cars from Japan and we're here at the 2024 PRP GTR Festival. Cars from Japan, we import cars from Japan mainly, but we also do from other countries from around the world. So it's a business that we enjoy doing on a day-to-day basis. This is our third year at the GTR Festival and every year just keeps getting better and better. Andrew organises an amazing event. We love it and this year is actually most probably going to be one of the best. Looking forward to today to see what rolls out. My wife Susan, she's got this model car hobby fetish. She loves buying all these model cars from around the world wherever we visit, and she loves, just to bring happiness and joy to everyone. We got a special selection of cars here. I've got a Tommy Kyra collection in the elite section. Some of the cars there are one-on-one. It's a personal collection actually, and then we got mainly GTRs here, and we do have a couple of Evos. We like to show and represent what we have, what we own. My favourite car of the event, pretty much a standard car, but would be Andrew's R35 GTR that's going to be unveiled today, because I'm going to look forward to seeing it progress in the months ahead. Keep an eye on it and see where it ends up. Who knows, I might copy him.
Hi guys, I'm Herman from Platinum Racing Products and we're here at the 2024 PRP GTR Festival. PRP, we make some pretty sick looking billet bits and pieces and ignition systems, dry sumps, engines for the RB platform predominantly, but we also spill over into the rest of the JDM, 4G63, the JZs, the SRs. We love them all, but basically we built the business around providing holes in the market being filled by our deliciously good looking products, and they serve a purpose. They make cars go fast. So we're here pioneering stuff breaking, fixing and pushing new sort of limits get these cars going faster. That's our aim. So we're always at GDR Festival. It's where we cut our teeth. We, provide parts for most of the cars here. We're heavily involved in the racing scene. So since day dot, we became naming sponsor 2 years ago, and we've just been pushing it hard and putting everything we have into it, and also sponsoring a lot of big cars and shops to get their big showpiece here to promote their own businesses as well. So it's an ecosystem. Products that are new this year, we've unveiled our new first to production RB cast block. So this is a RB26 block, short deck block. It's a whole new platform. We've created an 8mm thick bore. It's a 12mm deck. We fixed all the inherent oiling issues of the RB. We've also got our cast head. The evolution of our racing industry is here, and we're unveiling it today. Cars on display. We've got a JZ Supra, which is going to be the beginning of us really developing the JZ platform. We've also got personal N1 on display here. And we've had Big Deal, one of the SRS Street Race Solution cars from Queensland came down, and it's been hanging out at the stand as well. So pretty excited to have some of our flagships here, that's for sure.
Hi, I'm Anthony from Link Engine Management, and we're here at the 2024 PRP GDR Festival. Link Engine Management does ECUs for race cars and street cars, and we're also branching into things like PDMs and keypads and other accessories. I've been to GTR Festival myself 7 times, and for Link 3 times. It's fantastic to be here for GDR Festival, as Link's GTR plugin is the biggest selling ECU we have. So we see lots of customers, and it's great to hear back the positive information that we're getting back from them and get some good recommendations for features that they request. So here we've got our range of wiring and plug-in ECUs, and we actually have in the Skyline behind me our new keypad. So it's a race pad that has 18 buttons and 4 toggle switches. Yeah, it's a good bit of kit.
Can only mean a good thing.
Couple of big boys, let's go.
Oh.
That's what happens when a really fast GTR races a really, really fast GTR.
They're turning that
and he was off early.
They're turning that 1,000 foot back into 1320. Just gone left and right. So just do a quick check on that aeroflow lane.
That's just more of that precision turbo life by the look of it. But you still got to check. Good safety first. If Marlon hooks up all right, then I think we're good. We're going to get in the thick of it now, round 2.
I can't call it yet. It's just crazy, the closeness that we've had so far. There's been no clear, that's the one.
No, there hasn't. Not at all.
So
I know which cars are contenders, but I'm not calling a winner. No way.
So we've just been given the all clear, Andrew, to start again. So
let's do this.
Zoom up. Coming up, we've got a Audi TT. An R34. Start giving the thumbs up and off we go. All right. LR7 turbo R8.
Oh,
there's too many Bayside 34s in this lane.
They're all in Sydney. Damn.
276.
Damn, he kept the wick up for that one, didn't he?
So I believe that's he did 277 in practice. So
wild.
Here we go.
Another Lambo.
Tony's Lambo.
Another big
Why
GDR.
Panic 32.
Oh, off he goes. He backed out a little bit early, but you can tell. I think he saw his out. But that's the thing about these big cars is heat soak is still an issue. Like, you can't fight it at that sort of horsepower. So if you know you're out in front, you can get off it. Most of the heat happens in the deep end, right? When you're really loaded up in the higher gears. So sometimes getting out of early is just a concern for the next round. Another Lambo.
Yep, Miss Lambo coming through. Green light.
Bit late on the button, but it doesn't matter. Ooh, that's about to be expensive. GDR smart though, getting out of it.
He saved the foam blocks as well.
Yeah, didn't hit any blocks. That's the main thing.
So we'll just wait for Mr. Skyline to finish the cool down the deep end here. Next pair sent through. Q up versus the R8.
Fast car, both fast cars, but man, the TTs are tough. The Evo, though, has got some grunt. Damn.
192 to 201. Just a quick reminder to our media personnel down at the track, please move away from the wall, just for safety reasons. We don't need anyone on the wall, unfortunately. Just do a quick sight check of the rocket lane. I can see a JEM sticker on the side of a car. So you get the little bit of maintenance here on the finishing gate, looks like up the top there. So
You know, as the amount of Lambos and R8s we're starting to get here that are twin turbo, I feel like it's turning into, you know, being in America or even the amount of exotics.
I was going to say,
like being in the UAE again.
I was going to say, mate, it looks like it's turning into a Euro festival, but I won't go there yet.
You can plug and go for it.
No.
Plug away, mate. Plug away.
So the Euro festival coming up on the 20th of June. It's going to be an awesome event. Lots of vendors involved, as we've got the Gem Skyline in the Aeroflow lane taking off.
S15 was a little bit out in front in the run-up, but didn't seem to matter. I don't know, he just hasn't gone for it, so maybe an issue.
So he must be running Precision Turbo, is that?
There's a lot of them here, mate. Precision Turbo, one of our GTR Festival Platinum sponsors. Also had a 6466 turbo to give away, which I think I think we have to get that drawn.
Awesome.
It was based on entries and all that sort of stuff. So I think we're going to. I think with everything that happened on Friday, I think we're going to draw it tomorrow. So
awesome.
But it was all based on who bought pre-sale tickets go into the draw for it. So
Mark III Supra versus the IE RX3.
That Supra's got some grunt.
This is going to be close at the top.
Supra
finishes it off.
Stays there. 242 from a two-wheel drive. Is that the fastest two-wheel drive?
Let me just check my notes. Bear with me. Easy 10's the blue VK at 243. And I believe, is All-Torque rear-wheel drive? The Gem, I believe, 247.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Focus coming through here. He might get. Oh, he does get him. Go to the Focus, 197. Just under a tenth of a second difference there. All right, Lambo versus Audi.
double TT V10
I
action.
was going to say it's
pretty close.
A lot of vag goodness. 263.
Damn.
So we had a 270. Was it 272? We had from Ms. Lambo before. So.
It's almost weird when it's not a GTR doing a run, right? Like when there's nothing in the pairing, but we go left lane, way out in front. Takes the win, 188.
180. Just a reminder, all competitors, you must have your windows up. So just make sure if you can hear me down the stage lanes, make sure your window's up when you're coming through. As we see the RX coming through.
I think we're nearly at the end of round 2 now. Only a couple of cars left to go in round 2.
Happens a lot quicker, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You always like, it's taken ages in the first round, and then it just gets...
32s.
Whoa!
Yeah, I go now.
Damn. Go towards wall now.
Oh, 256, 242.
That was wild.
Just under a 10th difference there at the line.
Yeah.
And we got the mighty Mustang here versus the VL.
Yeah.
90k takeoff.
Way too fast.
That might be a bit quick for a lead run.
Yep.
So it might be a bit of a disappointing news when he comes back on the return road.
Mate, the rules are rules. We've got to have some. That's the way it works.
Some rules aren't meant to be broken.
Yeah.
All right, Beltec VL versus Bad GTO, the Monaro.
Oh, some top end grunt coming in. Who's
Oh,
going to get
it's
it?
close.
It's looking pretty
Close,
good.
Andrew. Oh, wow.
Oof. Good run.
I just love how this is keeping me on the edge of the seat, though. Like, there's no, you know, these cars, all of them are next level. Like we're talking about how fast all these cars are. We're literally looking at like the top 90% of Sydney's cars.
Some more GTR action. Max out in front a long way. He seemed to be on it, off it, on it. I think that red light means that's a no-go.
263, 228.
I'll let the KOTS staff decide on that one. But a big thank you to all the KOTS staff. Obviously, you noticed we decided to team up with GTR Festival. How did that come about? Quite simple, really. It's the guys from KOTS had dates for a series, and we ran roll racing on Friday night last year and wanted to keep it going. So rather than, I guess, conflict with each other in any way, we didn't have the same dates or anything. It was just more of a like, hey, do you want to run? Romanos is like, what if we... Like, well, we almost kind of said it at the same time. You know, like, jinx. We were talking about it, you know, being close together and all that sort of stuff. And I think we both at the same time said, well, why don't we run your roll racing and sort of go in together? And I thought, you know what, that'd be mad. So that way we kind of joined forces rather than sort of being competing. Because we added roll racing to GR Festival just purely as another part of a festival. It wasn't like it wasn't meant to be part of a series or anything like that, but we just kind of thought, you know, that if you can have KOTS come in and do it, it helps, you know, bring more people to it for them. For us, it helps just mean that someone else is running the roll racing under a certain, like under a series or a certain rules and like regulations, so that it can be part of that. And we figured that worked really well. We've got a buy run.
Yeah, it's just a single round for eliminations, so...
Nope, still wants to give it a hit. So that's how that all came about. Will it happen again next year? I'm cool with it. I really did want to leave this on Friday night, and a lot of people know we moved it to Sunday. Obviously, that meant that not everyone could attend anymore, or some people... And I think a lot of people were probably scared of the weather. Even though the forecast was not to rain Saturday, Sunday, that didn't really become apparent till Tuesday or Wednesday last week. So I still think there's a lot of people from interstate that were meant to come that didn't, and some people got actually flooded into their homes. So, you know, like that's the thing about running an outdoor event. You know, there's a lot of risk there. Like, I can sit there saying, if we'd moved the date, we'd get more people. But also, if you move the date, you have a lot of guests from interstate, overseas. There were so many international and interstate visitors this trip that if we had moved the date in completely, lost the weekend and decided to do that, the amount of... Like, forget my money, like forget our company money or forget whatever. Like, think about sponsors, think about people that have invested all that money, ready to go, and then you've got all these people from interstate and overseas who have spent thousands of dollars on flights and accommodation. If we didn't have the event at all, think of what they've got to then do, right? Like, not everything's refundable, not everything's transferable. You got leave you've applied for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I was very adamant that we tried to make this weekend work. So I don't sit there thinking about, how many people we could have had. I just sit there going, we could have had nothing.
No.
You know, like, you got to look at the glass half full in this instance, where you say to yourself, this is way better than nothing. Because our options were this or nothing.
No, well, that's just, when I moved our event from March till June because of weather. I had to, personally ring people in Queensland and go, I'm sorry that you've hired an 8-car transporter, and sorry that
I've been there, man. I've been there. I've had to move an event before. I've had a Cootamundra moved. I've had other stuff moved. I've had COVID move events. It's like, it's not fun, man. Like, as an event promoter, you don't want to let anyone down. You know, people. And I get people at the other end have paid money, but at the same time, you've got to look at the big picture. We can't control the weather.
No.
At all. So, but a lot of people have said today, man, lucky. You're so lucky. I'm like, half luck, half kind of like, strategy and being prepared for it. But if you ever want to feel what stress is, reorganise an event date. But instead of having months to do it all in 2 days. And you'll... Thanks to Grace, who's our event manager.
Does an awesome job.
Grace and I were working very hard last week, and it meant some things got pushed back, some things were late, some things were, whatever. But we had to get on top of that date change as fast as we could and get that sorted. And you'd be surprised. It didn't matter that it was just one day moving. Essentially, the entire event was essentially a reschedule, even though it was the same weekend. So, yeah, a lot of work. All our entire team worked flogged their hole out to make sure we got it done. Dragway staff flogged their hole out. A lot of sponsors were supportive of it. There's only a couple of traders that couldn't make today, whether it was because they're interstate or corporate companies that don't have the staffing, etc. So, but overall, the date change was still heavily supported because, like we said, it was that or nothing.
Well, that's just so we had vendors that bailed for March because they weren't able to make March, but then because it was June they could make it. Then they had people that couldn't make June, but made March. It's just.
You can't,
Six of one, half a dozen
what's
of
that
the other,
phrase?
mate.
You can't please everyone.
No, that's right.
But I try my best. So hopefully everyone that's come this weekend has had a good time, seen some cool cars, seen their favourite cars, met some YouTubers and guests from overseas. So we had some great guests here this weekend. We had Mickey from Throttle, thanks to Cars from Japan, who brought him out here as well. Hi, Mickey. You're still here. Hiroshi Tamura, the father of GTR, was here this weekend. As well as a lot of people didn't realise we had a bit of a late guest who decided to come visit and check out the event. And that's Mr. Yamamoto from Ars Meeting, which is the big GTR event that's been going for nearly 30 years in Japan. So, and why did he come? He actually wanted to check out how we do things here, and there's some discussions about how do we do some stuff there.
That's how it all works, mate.
I went from one GTR festival in Australia per year to we added America last year. Yeah. I have added New Zealand in 2 weeks, which I am doing in conjunction with Azar.
What date is that for those interested?
June 7th. Anyone here from New Zealand, I'll see you there. If you haven't got enough of your GTR fix, hey, jump on a plane. Fly to Auckland Friday night, get there, do the event Saturday, fly home Sunday. It's closer than flying to Perth, so yeah, June 7th, GTR Festival New Zealand. Yep. So in conjunction with Premier Events. So we teamed up. Where else are we discussing? Everyone's seen I've been to the UAE twice this year. So there's discussions in UAE.
UK maybe?
UK is at the far end of discussions.
Yep.
And even Japan has become a discussion now. So there could be 6 GTR festivals within the next 2 years. That was not on my radar, to be honest. If you asked me 5 years ago, I mean, America was a bit of a dream, but I didn't think I'd be going for 6 a year. So, but everyone goes, you're actually a bit mental in the head if you go from 1 a year to 3 a year to 6, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Keeps the passion, mate.
Find a way. Just like hanging out with other GTR events, really.
I just go for the hot dogs. So I said we're just getting ready for our next round of eliminations. Yeah.
So if anyone wants last-minute merch, I might keep our merch stand open down at the Modi Video and GTR Festival merch tent at the bottom of the stairs. So on the way out, if you want to grab some last-minute merch, I think is the one still up at the top? Yeah, the one at the top of the grandstand still open.
I've seen at least 10, 12 people
we'll be the last ones to close. I don't know if my staff can hear me over the mic, but if you want a deal, they'll do something. 3 for 1, I don't know, price off if you're going to do. We'll do some combos. I don't know what those combos are going to be, but grab some merch on the way out. No point taking it home. You should take it home, right? So On the way out, if you want to grab some merch, we'll keep our merch tents open. GDR Festival merch tents will be open a little bit longer. I think the KOTS still up as well.
Yeah, KOTS
KOTS
are
and
RHM.
RHM. So we'll do some deals on the way out if you want to grab some last-minute merch. And, we will. And then straight after this event, it won't be long, New Zealand, June 7th, America, 14th to 16th of November, maybe UAE, February. I mean, I didn't mean to say that, but, that could happen. So, once again, though, big thank you to everyone that came out after the date change to support KOTS and GTR Festival. Big thanks to Platinum Racing Products, our naming right sponsor. And a big thank you to Nissan Australia. Nissan Australia supporting this event for officially this year. We had Nismo here, the race team, right back in 2017.
Yeah.
But this is the first year that Nissan Australia as a corporate company has got behind the event. They provided support vehicles for all of our international guests and our staff to use this weekend. Obviously had their lineup of cars here. And we're hoping that if everyone's happy with that and they're happy, we'll see some continued support from Nissan Australia in the future. I think they understand that, the enthusiasts, they need a tow vehicle. They need a vehicle for their wife. Your kids need a car. And if Nissan shows loyalty to the scene will show loyalty to Nissan. That's what we're hoping happens. So, although the new range of cars I've been driving in the last couple of days have been pretty good.
Okay.
I never thought I'd say this, but I've had a Qashqai in the household before, and I've got a Navara. I'm Nissan junkie.
Yeah.
And the new Qashqai and X-Trail e-Powers are actually really nice cars to drive.
Oh, yeah,
So we've had a Nismo Z there and a new Z and automatic, the blue one. So been trying out all the different Nissan range for the last couple of days.
Next pair come through. Bad GTO.
Oof. This will be a good run.
Skyline.
Who's going to get on first? That's the big question. Oh, Skyline romping out, though. Has the Commodore got at the top end? We're going to find out. Oh.
Mate. 0.04. All right, well, you can't get closer than that. Points for trying. 225, 230. Nothing in it at all as we get the Audi TT coming out through the aeroflow lane. 35 coming through on the Rocket.
Let's go. Bit of foot brake. Ooh. Speaking of 35s, I got mine back the other day.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah. How funny is this? I registered it for the first time the day before GDR Festival last year. If you watch our video series, you'll realise I got it all sorted and it just had a random old engine failure. Nothing that anyone did. It hasn't even modified.
Yeah.
And I've just been so busy, I only got it back the other night and it got registered the day before the event again.
Keep the K's up.
Yeah.
Another turbo Audi.
Oof. 32 just moves around, bucking and weaving. That thing's wild.
Wow, 246 to 205.
And big thanks to Mick from Motorsports Mechanical. He actually had a customer, Shonny, who owns Mr. 35, who was the quickest 35 yesterday. Was building another engine for his other car, and I said, does he want to build the spare engine parts I have, and then I can get a dead stock low-kilometre engine for my car? And we ended up doing that. So,
win-win.
Yeah, dropped the car off at Mick's, picked it up with a second-hand 60,000 old 09 GDR engine in it. Oh, 241.
Yeah, Mark 3 Super, mate. 241.
So, I got my GDR back. So
that's awesome.
A couple little things to do, and then we'll start development. Boost Logic is now going to be sponsoring the car.
Okay.
So basically, Boost Logic said just they'll send things as we develop it. So, yeah.
Right. And that's the only good thing is it's great content for you as well.
Exactly, yeah. Well, here we go. Double Lambo action.
Oh, double Lambo? Oh, come on. Oh, look out, look out. Oh, 273 and 270.
Wow.
That's some serious speed right there.
I've driven that purple Lambo at Cootamundra, and I may or may not have done 300 k's an hour on that runway in that car.
I had a look at it at Cars and Coffee on last Sunday. I was like, it's got like this keypad under the...
Yeah.
And I go, what's this? He goes, oh, we can't talk about this. So we can
I know about it.
I
think I drove it on the tune that he went 100 and... About 100. No, when I drove it, it had a little bit less mid-range in it, but it was basically the same power that it went over 190 miles an hour at Kudo.
Unreal.
So do the math on the power, but yeah, I know what 190 plus feels like in a Lambo. It's pretty good. I mean,
yet, from what I heard, it's so smooth too at the same time.
It's like it's a very strange sensation because it's like terrifyingly fast, the acceleration on your body, but at the same time it is pretty smooth.
And you look down, you're like, oh shit.
But I've also driven RHM on 1600 horsepower and like 180 plus mile an hour tune, and that's terrifying.
Yes, no, it would be.
But awesome.
Mighty Mustang taking the lead. Oh, wow. I nearly saw both sides of that car at once. unable to bring it back.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky to drive some pretty cool stuff when we run our events at Cootamundra Airport, which obviously we have stopped doing now and focusing on
ideas on that
international.
yet, or see what happens? What's
No,
your
I'm
space?
just focusing on international events at the moment.
Yeah.
So Lambo, big 34 GTR, on the hit, got well out of shape, and now realise there's not much you can do about it. So, wow.
I think because he was riding the brake trying to line it up and then
hit hard and then sort of a bit too much on the hit.
there's a bit of strategy there from the Lambo, it looks like, actually. So
you want that hit, but it doesn't always work.
No,
so
right.
a little bit too much sauce. But yeah, honestly, the Cootamundra thing, like I miss it, but the cars were getting too fast. Some rules and regulations and insurance were changing to make that very difficult to get around. And then I just kind of went, if you want to run 6 international events a year, you're actually going to be spending, I almost need to spend between 6 and 12 weeks overseas associated with each event, whether that's pre-event promotion, being on the ground over there, talking to people, the sales side of it, the planning side of it. I was in America for 3 months last year before GDR Festival to make it work.
So they put it all together.
So I have to accept the fact that, I might need 2 months in America, but I'm going to need 2 months in Europe. I'm going to need, a month in Japan, another month in Dubai. And that's just the reality of it. It's not about wanting to holiday, because trust me, it is not a holiday. It's big hours of work. It's fun. I love it, but to make it work, it's what you got to do. And it's how do you run a local domestic event when you're trying to do that? So
I
think most people understand where we're trying to go with that. We did it for 15 years at Cootamundra. And
change can be a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony's car is still the quickest street car ever at Cootamundra, while Anthony Matuk still has the outright quickest time ever at Cooter. Went 7.9 at over 190 mile an hour, which is just... He said Anthony Matuk's done some pretty terrifying stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we know he'll drive anything, anywhere, anytime, most of the time.
Yeah. He'll crash a car and get out of it 2 minutes later and drop another one.
But he actually said that doing the 7.9 at 197 at Cooter was the most terrifying thing he's ever done.
Okay.
And I would agree, because it would have been absolutely terrifying. So, and just because obviously at that sort of surface, they basically for the first half of the track were like a 1,200 horsepower car, and then in the back end of the track were a 2,200 horsepower car. So, yeah, they had a good strategy to do it, and they managed to do it, which is props off to Matuk's Racing for that.
Just quickly, mate, while we're looking online at our streaming services, just want to quick questions out there, guys. What's your favourite car so far, and what's your pick for the win? You can put that in our chat, mate, and we'll have a quick discussion about it. And it looks like we're getting some of our cars assembled for the next round of eliminations.
Is there any comments in the question about arguing whether a sequential is a manual? I'm happy to have that argument again.
Well, I've got one that here. It says it's got 3 pedals, doesn't it? ...
Yeah, right, exactly. So, I like to say it has 3 pedals, an input shaft, an output shaft, and the same gears as each other, but, whatever.
But, Ryan says, Andrew, big fan. Do you believe that a manual car needs to have a clutch? Otherwise, essentially, you have a Triptronic.
No, because inside the gear, you can clutchless shift a H pattern dog box, correct? So what's the difference between a H pattern dog box and a sequential dog box? It's a shift pattern.
The S1 package that
you can even do a strain gauge on a dog box H pattern, have a first gear lockout. Isn't that right, Herman and Cardo from PRP? You can have a lockout shifter with a strain gauge, and then you can clutchless shift after takeoff and not miss a gear. So what's the difference between that and a sequential? The shift direction.
Yeah. Redneck asks, is RE Chimnut running? Well, unfortunately, Mr. Romanos helping run this event tonight, so...
I know that feeling.
I mean, yeah.
Well...
We saw you around was it you around the mines last night?
I ran the mines car last night, did 11.50 in it. Not bad for a little circuit car. Bogged a little bit.
No.
The track was very sticky.
Yeah.
I got one quick run in that. The Mighty Car Mods car had never even been driven. It was just a little bit of clutch adjustment. So that with that car, it actually just... getting that throw right, and I think on the first run, the clutch just got stuck to the floor, but that was just more to do with adjustment, a bit of overthrow, because we hadn't driven it, right? So, other than on the dyno, so just mucking around with that to get it right. And I think, obviously, it's hard to try and adjust and set up a car when we're trying to be here, so what we're going to do with that car is do a bit more development after the event. Get that right.
I saw it down at I was down at Bathurst 12 Hour, and I saw it on display, and I was just in, it's literally really good condition. I couldn't believe, it's a
mad car. That Mines car is epic. super responsive, heaps of fun. Andrew Hannison from Legendary Garage has done a great job with that car, and Mick from Motorsports Mechanicals. So amazing. Can't wait to get my GTR back from the USA though. Me and Croydon have got some plans to develop that car further.
Okay.
Basically, we were trying to keep it in America, but we can't extend the Carne. So Jun 2 and Jet RH9 are coming back to Australia, do some development, and then probably leave to go overseas again. Which country? I'm not sure yet. Could be Dubai, could be UAE, could be UK, could be Japan. Don't know yet. Could be all of them.
You never know, mate. I said 5 years ago you didn't know you're doing one of these, let alone 6 or 7 in the pipeline.
I'd love to have an 8-second car in every country, but if you know what GTRs cost, I can barely afford one. So, the gold car, everyone keeps asking about that. Now that I've got essentially an engine for it, which is the old cast block 3.2 out of the my 32, I'm just going to get a new head at CID. They're going to put together another head package for that. And then we'll get that onto that engine, get it into the gold car, and then basically I can slowly get started on that now.
Oh, I was going to say it could be one of the top secrets.
Yeah. It's no secret. When people go, what's going on with no secrets? I go, it's not a secret, bro. I've got your money. I've got your money. So time and money, they're the opposite of GTR.
Falcon guys have failed to use the best platform they ever had. Thanks, Brett.
That's a comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone said if a Falcon doesn't win, it better be that Mark III Supra.
It's the real drive fans.
Yes. So, thanks again for your contributions tonight online. So,
we're getting down to the pointy end now, aren't we?
Yeah. So it looks like 510 people watching so far, which is not bad.
Yeah, so. different Sunday night, right? Usually Royal Racing is Friday or Saturday night.
I said we've got one of our guys. He's from Norway and he jumps off religiously, and I was like,
"No, he's from Norway.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, Norway." I saw you did there. I caught it.
Yeah,
caught it.
Dad joke.
I hope the golf cart wins. Well, yeah, that blue golf cart down there. It might enter the burnout comp. Watch this space. So
here we go. Rear-wheel drive action.
Mark III Supra.
Yeah, Josh and the Mark III, the gem car. Oh, God, wow! Like there are some cars you watch, you just know that it's honking. But look at the difference in speed. I don't know if the 33 got off it or whether it just got out of there sooner. But yeah, do we know highest mile an hour two-wheel drive yet?
So I believe at 247 before, as we've got the Audi versus the Lambo coming up now.
Gonskis.
Oh,
Precision Racing.
Hang on, guys.
265.
And 269. So, quick question, Andrew. We can wrap it in here. Texas 2K. It says how long is the track for Texas 2K? Some of those Lambos.
It's actually longer than a quarter mile. It's like 300 feet long. I think if it's not 1320 feet is normal quarter mile. I think it's either 1500 or 1550 or something over there. So it is a longer track at TX2K, so you cannot compare the mile an hour. Doesn't mean that what they're not doing isn't insane. So my car would go, say, 165 in the quarter mile. And to give you an idea, when I did the TX2K track, I did like 171 or something, right? So a car at my power is 6 mile an hour, and a car with double my power could be 12 to 15 mile an hour faster because of that distance. Because I remember talking to people about it while I was there. So you got to knock some mile an hour off to go back to quarter mile, and then you knock even more off for the 1,000 feet. So there's a lot of variables at play there. Some cars don't have top end, some do, blah blah blah. So yeah, but I picked up 6 mile an hour. Wow. So maybe even more. But I think the power that I was on at the time was more like a 160 tune as opposed to a 165 anyway. So, yeah, I definitely picked up mile an hour with that extra distance.
Revenge has asked a question, which I think you might know about the elephant in the room. He said, do you guys prefer RB platform or LS? So
LS? Never heard of her.
Does it say GR Festival, mate?
I'm not joking, man. I still get tempted to build like a high revving NA LS to put into something cool. Like you can't argue with the performance versus dollars, etc. So, but the RB's sound for RB is about the platform more than anything else, right? Like it's everyone always goes RB versus 2J. I'm like the platform is what makes the RB so popular and successful.
Got another buy run for the same Falcon.
Oh, I need to mix that up, guys.
So,
but yeah, it's the RB. I feel like it's its cult following is still attached to the car that it comes in, while the 2J, yes, the Supra is fantastic, but the 2J has more of a cult following based on the fact that it ends up in everything and what it can do performance-wise. So
The aftermarket support.
that's probably the way I try to explain it to people. Someone might not agree, but that's okay. But that's just kind of how I see it.
100%.
And that's what happens having an all-wheel drive sump attached to that RB26 and the noise it makes, and I guess what Group A's done. There's heaps of variables. You know, they've got the Fast and Furious, Gran Turismo. Like, there's so many factors in the cult of GTR.
Yeah. No, I was watching, there's an autobiography that Mark Scape just re-released. And he was talking about how he had a boost tap under the dashboard and they'd wind it up on Conrad Street and then hide it back under the dash for screen.
Wouldn't surprise me. I've heard a few. I've had beers with some of the old Gibson mechanics at a 30th anniversary reunion, and I got some pretty cool stories out of them that I can't ever. Not meant to tell anyone, but you know what I mean. Sometimes it's cool to know some little things that no one else does.
No. I say Dick Johnson, apparently he used to have fuel on the roll cages, extra reserve.
Well, here's the funny part. The guys that worked on the GTRs at Gibson Motorsport, right, they essentially after 92, they didn't work on them again. So a lot of those guys didn't necessarily stay like in the GTR world. They stayed in the motorsport world and switched to Commodores, etc., right? So talking to them, I don't think some of them realise the impact they've had on the GTR community and also the impact they've had on parts development over here. One little funny story is Alan Heafy was telling me that when they first dyno-tuned, engine dynoed a RB, they cracked the block and cracked the deck. And if you watch my block testing videos, you'll know that a normal stock 26 cracks above the oil feed on the passenger side and can crack the deck if you have basically too much cylinder pressure, lift the head, etc., whatever. So Alan Heafy was told by Nissan, fly to Japan, take the engine block with them and show them what's wrong with it.
Wow.
A couple of months later, they get a block rock up and say, use this. I'm convinced that is the N1 block, or what became the N1 block, because when you look at an N1 block, and I did this with Herman from Platinum Racing Products, we cut one up to really see what's inside, and there is more material and more bracing around the bottom of the head studs to stop and a thicker deck. So that stops the cracking above the oil feed and stops the deck from cracking. So Japan's culture is very much, we will only fix what's broken. And they only fixed what Alan Heafy showed them. So I'm convinced that Gibson Motorsport are the reason the N1 block exists. So, yeah, a bit of a fun fact for GTR fans. I don't think I'll ever be able to prove it. I don't think it'll ever be in writing. But it's one of those things where it's just...
It makes
logical sense. Yeah. And I'm going to go with it, all right? As an Aussie, I'm going with it, all right?
So just going down, looks like I believe we had our final 4. So 2 finals coming up. We've got the rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive, I believe. So they're just doing a bit of
burnouts.
I was trying to work out where you move the bits and pieces around, and
so. All right, so we're going all-wheel drive final, two-wheel drive final, then an outright final.
Just to have a quick look in the staging lane, see what we can see coming up.
Gem 33's in there.
Yep. Miss Lambo,
Miss Lambo.
And I think that's not one. I think that's the other black Lambo in front of it.
Yeah.
So I think we're just waiting on a two-wheel drive to come through.
So
which I assume
at
was
least
that
there's
Byron.
one Nissan left.
Yes.
I'm going with that. So someone's going to win GTR Festival Roll Racing without a GTR.
Should put some GTR badges on Tony's car.
Don't laugh. I've done some weird stuff like that before.
I remember when they had the RHM number plates on Tony's car, and everyone's like, "What's going on?"
I love the internet for that.
No,
post one picture and it can explode.
So as you can see, guys, we've got two lanes in the stage lane. We've got one Skyline Denny. We've got one in the burnout pad, which I believe is that Falcon from the buy run, possibly, or it might be the gem car.
Gem car's lined up already.
Oh, there he is down there. They're correct. So, well, looks like we're about to do the all drive run first.
I'm ready to go on this. So there's going to be a lot of media coverage from this event. So JP Performance from Germany, a massive YouTube channel, has coverage to come. Mighty Car Mods were here on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They actually flew in just for Saturday.
Yeah.
They were actually filming with major corporate companies for a massive video they're working on with, I don't know if it's Super Cheap, but someone else. And they literally flew in, were here in the morning, did an autograph session and meet and greet. They did the unveil. They actually did the opening show with me, which was a very nice surprise. And then they left. And they came just for that. So hats off to them. Obviously, we've been building a GTR with those guys.
I saw Mickey down there on the start line before with Tommy Effia doing some intro videos.
So I've got Tommy Effia here, Mickey from Garage S0. He's also one of our presenting sponsors of GTR Festival globally.
I actually watched him on YouTube. So that Garage Zero, how he's just like treasure trove. Has it got a Nissan badge on it? Yep, I'll take it.
Yep.
So it looks
Here we
like
go.
a couple of cars coming through the tunnel. Looks like our
two-wheel drive final.
Two-wheel drive, correct. So
here's the thing: whoever wins this actually becomes the two-wheel drive winner and gets $1,000 for it, and then the highest mile an hour for a two-wheel drive gets $1,000.
So I say, guys, this is a $1,000 race. If you're sitting here in the audience, get on your seats, get your phones out. Here we go.
Should be good. Got a green.
Oh, the Skyline. Oh, he had to back out.
Falcon got out of it. Hopefully not an issue. I saw a flame out the bottom. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. Two-wheel drive final. Just Engine Management's R33. Monster of a car. That is weapon.
So
hopefully we don't have any oil down.
I did see a little bit of a spark, but I don't know whether that was just a detonation thing coming out of the exhaust or...
Yeah, not sure. Saw a bit of that. Don't know if there's damage or oil down. Obviously going to have a bit of a look now. Hopefully it's oil down at the end is like a suspense breaker.
So hopefully we can get this turned around quite quickly.
Let's get some action on the screen, and let's see. We'll get back to you in a moment. We know exactly what's happening.
So we just had a recovery vehicle drop off one of our recovered vehicles. And now he's coming back in action, coming up to pick up the next one. So I guess these things happen when you know you're in the final. You think, can I hit that page up button a tiny bit more? Maybe it was just one too many. So FX King hasn't survived the final. So well, it's the time off the track. Just remember, guys, coming up June 28th, Sydney Euro Motor Festival, proudly presented by Precision Racing, Expel, Mods Direct, Eurowork, Flowworks, Enthusiast Insurance, 11 Mode, WSC Performance, GDY Performance, Galano Hire, iCustom Auto House, Premium Detailing, Detail Lab, Eurospec, Go Fast Bits, Carbon Auto House, Jennifer's Garage, and we've just had a couple of more come through that will be announced shortly. But as I said, guys, June 28, 2025, scan the QR code, grab your tickets. I believe that there were nearly at capacity for our entrance, so if you haven't jumped on or you thought, I do want to enter that, well, jump it now, mate, because as I said, it's going to come very soon. So, as I said, we'll cut back and see if we can see what's happening down with this Falcon here. It looks like they've got the rope on it now, the strap on it now. Let's have a quick look at some of these online questions here. Where's Tony's Lambo? It's in here, mate. It's there. Just didn't make it through to the final. Just said, hey, announcers, what's the best standing vehicle? Mate, some of these RB, these 3.2 RBs, they're absolutely mental. Like in person, absolutely phenomenal. So, just think of bring Brett Leonard. I'm entered in Euro Festival. Bring it on, mate. I hope it's going to be an epic event. I said, we've had a lot of hype, a lot of interest in this, so it's going to be an awesome event. We've got a lot of entrants, so it's going to be a really great day. I just believe that we're about to pull it out now, and as I said, we'll move on to our all drive burnout. So I believe they're still in the staging areas, just in the tunnels, getting ready to go. So, Lambo versus Lambo. Black and pink. So, as we just bring that Falcon around to the gate, start looking forward to some very, very fast vehicles. As I said, that pink vehicle there in frame, Miss Lambo, did 277 kilometres an hour in practice. So, going to be a very, very close result. As we bring up pictures now of the Falcon coming through, FX King. So fortunately, it wasn't a tow truck job, and we've moved on to our all-wheel drive final. $2,000. Don't forget, guys, before you leave, check out the Motive Video Gazebo. I believe there's some great deals, as I said. Andrew said, sell it all, I don't want to carry it home. So go up there, grab some merch while it's heavily discounted before you leave. And here we go, guys, the final.
Like both go green.
Oh, nothing in
completely dead
Andrew,
even, but
here
hey,
we go,
top
mate.
end.
Here we go. Oh, my God. Oh, wow.
Wow.
4/10 of a second. 4,000ths of a second.
Nothing in it.
266,
Nothing in
265. That is crazy.
That is
Guys,
wild.
make sure you stay around for the presentation down the front here. Make sure you give them all a round of applause. So, now, there's one more race left, guys, before you leave. There's one more left. The winner of the all drive versus the winner of the rear wheel drive.
Oofed.
So don't go anywhere, guys. I can see you all guys leaving. You're going to miss out on the grand final here. So just stay put for a second.
So I've just told my staff I'll do 25% off everything.
Okay. 25% off, guys. Motive.
And that's including all the new stuff, everything, whatever's there.
You see it there, mate. If you see something in that gazebo you want, you ask for 25% off. They'll probably give it to you.
But you got to do it after the final, on the way out. You can't run there now. Actually, yeah, you can. Whatever. I hope my staff saw that
The
message.
Motive staff have taken out the mace. So, yeah, make sure you check out that Motive video as you're leaving, guys.
Yeah, the GTR one at the top of the grandstand. There's one down the bottom. Whichever one, either or. I'll do 25. I told them to stay open. They're like, can we pack up, boss? I'm like, just look after everyone. Stay open a bit longer. So
100%.
One run left to go. I think most people have probably predicted what they think's going to happen, but it's nice to watch and be there for the trophy presentation down on the bottom. You know what I mean?
Mate,
So
he might take off too soon and get a red.
You never know, mate. Anything can happen in racing.
So,
but yeah, plenty of content will be coming out on the Motive Video channel from this event for everyone to check out. Yeah, obviously we had plenty of media here. We actually had Alex from GTR The Journey, a book that's here, and he wrote a pretty full-on book. JB Performance will have stuff. Tommy's done some media. GTR Magazine will have some media after being here as well in Japan, which is pretty cool. So some international coverage going around for the event. And obviously we had a lot of international guests here and a lot of international visitors. Like I said, I've met people here from... It's actually a huge group of people from Fiji, so represent Fiji.
Wow.
We met heaps of people from New Zealand here this weekend. Yeah. I know an old bloke that comes over here from Florida 2 years in a row. All the way from Florida. I know another guy from Texas was here. I've seen people from Europe, Asia, Cambodia, all sorts of places. Indonesia. So yeah, from everywhere. All right, what's going on? All right, no, we're not far off getting this final run underway.
So, Brett, is it too late to save 25%? Well, mate, no, it's not, but you kind of have to be here because if you're in the chat, then I don't know, unless you're really
You've got
into...
to be here. Yeah. You've actually got to be here to get 25% off. I've messaged the whole team, said 25% off. All right, see him in the pits, nearly ready to go for this final run. Looking forward after here, KOTS round 3, a whole series for the year. That's pretty cool. So make sure you jump onto the KOTS website, get your tickets or entries for the next event, and hopefully this series gets bigger, faster, better, etc. And we can keep roll racing as a sport cranking away here. So just waiting for this final. And obviously GTR Festival, I mean, as far as I'm aware, should be pretty much the same weekend next year. I know you're probably thinking after that rain, why would you? But statistically speaking, May's the driest month to hold a motorsport event combined with good enough weather. And what I mean by that is if we had it in January, it'd be too hot. Even February's too hot.
That's
right?
what I said. I tried to do it in March to keep the daylight savings, but still keep the heat. And then the rain said no. So.
And that's the funny part is, statistically speaking, March and April has more rain than May. I know that sounds kind of not accurate, but I've literally did that much research on it over the last decade to, look at that. So, but you know what? It could rain in January. It can rain in December. It can rain any time. You literally don't know when it's going to rain. And that's the problem with running outdoor events, right? It's a huge risk, but appreciate everyone's support with all this.
We've got a couple of Lambos confused about which one actually won, but we've just got confirmation. Pink Lambo versus Gem.
Oofed.
So, just going to get those two lined up.
We're going to get the winner down onto the burnout pad, I think, and they've got the trophies down there for them. So,
yeah.
Tell
you what, I saw a couple of the cam wheel trophies and
yeah, PRP's made these lovely billet trophies that basically have an adjustable cam gear with a billet trophy on top. Amazing work. Herman's attitude, honestly, he makes those to support the event. Like, he doesn't just go, oh, yeah, here's sponsorship, here's some trophies. He makes those because his attitude is it's like the best piece of memorabilia and memento you can have is a giant piece of PRP billet on your shelf, right? Constant reminder of Herman's shorts. I think we're on. We are on. Here we go.
Look out.
There.
Look out.
Happen?
If he keeps that gap.
Well, they went green. If you're behind, too bad. As long as the speed's right. Oh, Lambo. Top end charge.
266.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Stick around. A bit of a round of applause when they come back in. So for the trophy presentation is always a nice gesture, I think.
Yep.
I know it's getting a bit cold, but I know you want to go. But it's stick around. Give them a round of applause when they come back.
So
I think we're handing down to Romanos to get that done. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, big thank you to everyone that came out for the Platinum Racing Products GTR Festival, presented by Garrett Advancing Motion, Skyline Shed, Cars from Japan, and Garage S0. Big thank you to all of our sponsors here this weekend: workshops, pit crew, friends, your mum that bought you, your girlfriend for tagging along, everybody that came out. A big thank you, because it's one of those things, right? Without you guys, there's no event. And it's for everyone. That's really all I want. Just have a good time. I think we did. We had a great time. I know the weather fought us a lot, but we made it work. Especially with Scott Mitchell down there with his great beard. Hello, mate. Hello, Scott. One of our dedicated media team. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, woo! Yeah, we got a great video team working this weekend. They've been working their butts off. We had a new guy, Riley, start work this weekend. His first day on the job, trial job.
Oh, wow.
He rocks up to the office Thursday. And it's chaos because we're trying to sort things out. I threw him a set of keys and said, I need you to drive for 4 workshops, do reels, and be back here by 6. And he did, which is pretty impressive in Sydney traffic and dealing with a busy Sydney workshop pre-event. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. But big thank you to everyone for coming. We'll be back bigger, better next year. Hopefully I can learn to control weather. But appreciate you guys coming through on the date change. Like I said, don't look at the glass half empty part. Like there could have been more people if the weather was better all week. But look at the bright side. We had an event and everyone loved it.
I think we're getting ready to cross downstairs.
Yep, we're going to cross down to Romanos and the KOTS team down there. Michael and Romanos down on the start line. Plenty of media down there. We'll get that check out. Can you cash that novelty check? No.
Can you guys hear us down there?
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yep.
Can you hear us down there, guys? Give us a wave.
They're giving away, but they're also trying to pull up cars at the same time.
All right, we're going to cross over those guys. Thank you very much. Andrew signing off, and we'll see you very shortly.